Sean with VASTmicro, and this is a tutorial on how to customize one of my awesome stock images. For this video, I'm going to show you one quick method you can use to insert your own photograph into the scene of a white picture frame hanging on a brick wall that has nice sunlight shining in from a nearby window. Now, when I did this particular photo shoot, I captured several different angles of the scene to give designers a choice of perspective. And the method I'm going to show you will work for all of them. But the one I'm going to use to demonstrate how to do this will be this one here. And I'm going to use this one because I love shots with this type of perspective. I think it adds a bit of character and depth to the image and the overall scene. Keep in mind this isn't a Photoshop tutorial, and you may have another method of accomplishing the same thing. And you may also want to customize the image in a completely different way. With that said, let's get started. Okay, our goal is to take our original image and make it look something like this, where we've taken our own photograph and inserted it into the frame of that picture and made it look like it was actually hanging on that wall. So we're going to start with the original image, and I'm going to use the polygon lasso tool to select the interior. I'm going to start in the upper left corner, select a point just above where I think the darkest part of the shadow is, and stay along the border of that wood. I'm going to drag over to the right. When I get to the other corner, I'm going to select a point just before I go into the highlights of the wooden border on that side of the frame. Then I'm going to drag down so I can get to the lower right corner. Select the point here where I'm eyeballing this, where I believe the paper meets the frame. Now I'm going to go over to the left, and I'm going to select the point here and then go up and finish off my selection. Alright, now we got a rough selection of the interior of that layer. Let me zoom out, recenter, and what I want to do is I want to make a copy of that interior because we're going to use it later to blend with our photo. I'm going to do Control C and Control V to put a copy of that interior right above our original layer. Now I'm going to rename this to Frame Center. And then I'm going to drag that below our original working layer. Now we want to reselect the pixels from that frame center because we want to eliminate them from the background copy. So now we're going to select the background copy, hold the Alt key down, and select the layer mask button. What that'll do for us is create a layer mask, and it'll already fill in the selected area with black so that it becomes transparent. Now if I turn off the frame center by deselecting its visibility, you can see we have the transparency grid showing right here. That means we're ready to insert our photo. So let's go over, we'll grab a copy of this awesome photo. I'm going to Control A to select it all, Control C to copy, go back over to our image. I am going to select this bottom layer that's not even selected, Control V, and it's going to paste my photo right in there. And as you can see, now it's showing through. What we need to do now is change its perspective to match the rest of the scene. So now I'm going to go up and I'm going to grab the Transform Distort tool. And what I'm going to use that for is to grab each corner of this frame. I'm going to hit Control so it doesn't snap to grid. And I'm going to grab each corner and match it to the angles of that picture frame. I'm going to stay just a little outside the border And I'm going to eyeball this to match the angles. Bring this one out just a little bit. Let go of the control key, hit enter, and it'll accept our transformation. Now we have the same perspective on that photo as we do the rest of the scene. But it's missing depth and shadow. So we need to add that back in. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to blend this frame center back into our photo. And I'm going to do that by enabling its visibility. And you can see those nice shadows. We want those shadows on our photo. Then I'm going to change its blending mode to multiply. As soon as I do this, bam, it blends with our original photo and also gives us our shadows on the border on the left and on the top. It's not perfect yet. We're going to have a little space where the original frame center is missing a pixel. So we're going to take that and we're going to resize it. So I'm going to go Edit, Transform, Scale. And then I'm going to drag this up just a pixel or two. I'm going to take it, drag it out about a pixel or two. Just enough so where I no longer see any white area or non-blending. I'm going to drag it down. And I'm going to even it out by dragging it out on the right. There we go. Then I'm going to hit enter, accept that transformation. And now if I look around the border, I see that I've got a nice blending. So it actually looks like it's in that frame. Now that looks pretty good, but there's one more touch that I want to do before we finish this off. I want to add a little glare from the sun onto that photo, as if the sunlight is actually hitting the paper and making it a little more white on one side than the other. So I'm going to select my photo layer, create a new layer above it that's blank. Then I'm going to use the gradient tool with white selected as the foreground and white to transparency selected as my gradient. Then I'm going to select a point in this upper left corner of the frame and drag it about midway diagonally down. And watch what happens when I let go. Pow! Now we have a nice washed out corner that looks like the sun is actually hitting it. And this is where I'm going to stop. You may want to go further, maybe create some reflections as if it had glass in the frame, but this is the end result that I like, so I'm going to stop right here. Hopefully this video was helpful. And don't forget, you can find this image among others in my stock portfolio online. Look for the link in the description of this video or visit VASTmicro.com to learn where I keep my stuff.